Hey. Welcome everybody to You Choose Sundays. I am here with Damon Thompson.
Hey,
Yes.
how are you?
So
Hey,
excited.
hello everyone.
I'm so glad to have you here
Yes,
today.
yes, I'm
So
excited.
today we're going to get into it. We're talking about video marketing in 2021 and beyond. And I'm really excited to have you here because you got receipts. You have all the receipts. You have been in business, multimedia services, for more than 20 years. And that's a huge deal because I don't know if people know this, but 65% of businesses fail within the first decade. So you are beyond, you are surpassed, you have gone above and beyond. And I'm so excited for you. And so I'm glad that you carved out some time to talk to little old me.
No, no,
Because
no, it was my pleasure, my pleasure.
this is going to be really exciting. So before I tell everybody how we met, because I think that's really important, people always want to ask how I choose people to come on the show, and usually it's because I have some kind of personal connection to them, and ours is very unique. But before we do that, I want you to just tell everybody a little bit about what you do, what your business is, and some of the clients that you've worked with.
Okay, great. So, my company name is Media Services. I'm the executive producer, and what we are is a corporate video production company. So we handle not only marketing videos for companies, but like their internal communications, training videos, onboarding videos, things like that. And some of our clients include Piston Automotive. That's Vinnie Johnson, used to be with Detroit Pistons. His manufacturing company is a tier two automotive supplier. We've had some other automotive suppliers we've done work with. We work with Allstate, State Farm, Yelp, Google, YouTube, Uber
Check,
Eats,
check,
Grubhub.
check,
Yes.
check,
So
check.
those are right. So those are some of our clients, and we basically that we will be contacted AOL, and basically they'll contact us, and if it's automotive based, it'll more than likely be some type of safety video or some type of onboarding because a lot, especially with Piston Automotive Group, they're an automotive supplier, and they were building battery packs for the EV Ford Escapes, and so they needed a special safety video to train their clients. I mean, I'm sorry, to train their workers on how to, how they're supposed to operate installing the battery pack, actually assembling them and putting them together. So there's a lot of safety precautions and protocols they had to go through.
So you do all kinds of videos for different organizations depending on their need.
Exactly.
And as I said, you've been doing this more than 20 years. So before really Facebook, before Instagram, before a lot of this video marketing really exploded, you were already on the forefront of that.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
We actually. Oh, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
No, no, I was gonna say, excuse me, when we started up until I say the mid 2000s, we were doing like just weddings and event videography, and then we got approached to start doing some commercials. So we did like a commercial here or there, and then I'm sorry, oh 08, AT&T contacted us and asked us will we be willing to produce videos for their local clients, and we said yes. And
Hmm.
then from then on, we've just done corporate work. So we shot our
Okay.
last wedding back in like '09, and I was sick of weddings anyway. But we did our last wedding back in '09. Yeah. So now it's just corporate work, and it's 9 to 5 for the most part. We may have a client on the weekend here and there, but typically it's 9 to 5. It's beautiful.
I know you were sick of doing weddings because I watch Bridezillas and no thank you.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
No, we,
I'm
we
sure
didn't
you
we
were.
never had any problems with brides though. It was just the time restraint because when you're doing a wedding, like we've had to go back to different clients before and refilm something, say something didn't look right. You can't do that with a wedding. And for weddings,
Yeah.
if a wedding started at noon, our day started like at 11. And our day went all the way through the ceremony, the first dance, and everything else. So we're spent the whole day there. Then on top of that, all this footage needs to be edited. Whereas with corporate work, it's pretty much like filming a movie. We film the scenes based on the script, and then we're done. and it's just assembling, and it doesn't take as long a period. It may take all day to get all the footage we need, but it doesn't take all day to, it's a totally different process for editing.
So what I heard you say too, which I think is really important for any entrepreneur, anybody that's starting, even if you have a side hustle, is know what you're good at, whittle it down and do that. You don't have to
Yep.
do everything just because you
No,
can do
no.
everything. I think it's
Right.
really smart to figure, what am I really good at? What am I passionate about, and how quickly can I get it done? That's how I roll with
Exactly.
business.
And no, and that's exactly true, because a lot of times, even with the clients, um, I teach video editing and video marketing and video production at Washington Community College. And one of the things that I
Right.
teach my students is, if video production is not your core business, you're either going to have to learn how to do it yourself or hire somebody like me. And so what I try to teach them is give them the different tools, because there are a lot of, especially with smartphones and tablets now, and especially iPads, there are a lot of tools that you can use that are free or $5 or $6. These apps will give you incredible results that you can share the stuff on social media. Because with any type of social media, whether it's video marketing, just regular social media, you have to consistently post. I mean, you have to keep creating content and putting content out there. You can't get around that. And a lot of
Yeah.
times people who are not familiar, or just look at video production as daunting, or they might grab their phone and do something like, a really great app that I teach my students to use is called Q. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's hang on. I got it right here on the tip of my tongue because I use it all the time. Hold on one second. I just can't think of it. Quick. I'm sorry. Quick. QIK. And
Okay.
QIK. What it is?
Oh yeah.
It's incredible, because it allows you to take video you've shot or still images. It will assemble everything based on the beat of the music. You can even input. You can even put in text either over the video or the images or between them. I mean, it's a great marketing tool. It will. You can change the aspect ratio for Instagram or widescreen. I mean, it's incredible. You can change the length of your videos. It's incredible, and quick is something that I would recommend to everyone to get. It's free. Download it, and regardless of what your industry is, I know that there are some images that you can assemble based on whatever your industry is that will tell your story. Input some text with your contact information, your web address, phone number, whatever you like, and start just putting those little things out there. And they don't have to be really, yeah, but like I said, the beauty of Quick is, because it cuts everything to the beat, everything is going to be in sync as soon as you export it. It's a powerful app.
So let's get into really video marketing yourselves in a
Hmm.
second, because I really do want to get into that. And first, I want to talk
Okay.
about how we met and how we were
Oh, go
acquainted.
ahead.
And then we're going to get into that video marketing part, because I know that there are going to be a lot of people, whether you're doing personal branding for yourself and you're just trying to get your own self out there, your own brand, your own personality, or you're working for a business. You're going to have some things for us that anybody can do to help them
Right.
get started, whether they're a beginner or they're seasoned. So the first thing, before I get too far into this, because I always do this,
Hmm.
I just want to welcome everybody for being here today. Thank you for coming to You Choose Sundays. We're on Facebook Live. We're on LinkedIn Live. One day I'm going to put up YouTube, but my channel is garbage. So just bear with
Uh-huh.
me. Go ahead and like and follow me on both Facebook and LinkedIn. If you're here today, thank you so much. Hi, Deidre. Thank you for being here. You can put your comments in the chat. I can see most of them. I cannot see all of them. Working on that as well, because I'm one person. I can't be like everywhere. But go ahead and put your questions out there, especially if they have to do with video marketing, because I don't know that you're going to get somebody else who's actually an instructor at a college that is teaching this kind of information. So again, thank you for being here today, Damon.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
let's talk about how we got acquainted first. First, let me pull this big old banner down off of our faces. There. Okay. So everybody knows, most people who know me know that I have a love-hate relationship with social media for sure. But there is no denying that it's a really great way to connect with people who you wouldn't have connected with otherwise, both in the professional world and maybe you're doing your own personal branding. That's important, right? We need to network. So Damon and I, you and I were connected on LinkedIn. Um,
Right.
probably my favorite platform. If I'm going to spend my time anywhere, I'm spending most of it there. And so we were already connected on LinkedIn, but we had not met personally, like most people on LinkedIn don't. You're friends with people all over the place. You're connected, but you don't get an opportunity to meet them. But this past summer, it might have been a summer ago now, though,
It
actually.
was a summer ago, yeah, because of
Summer.
COVID. Right.
Yes, yes, yes. So a summer ago, our paths crossed because we were actually serving the same client. I was doing some social media managing and consulting with them, and you were actually there because people don't know this. You're also a food photographer.
Right. Right.
So you
Yes.
were there doing that. And I love that we were able to connect in that way because we saw each other and I was like, what's your name again? You were like, what's your name again? And then we
Right.
realized like, okay, we're already connected on LinkedIn. So I thought that was really
Right.
cool. And you
Right.
started talking to me about video marketing. And I was very transparent, as I am with everybody, and saying like, I was very nervous about doing video. Sometimes I still am, right? Just like some insecurities, whatever. I did not know how to use video in a way that did not make it feel rehearsed. Like I hate that. I can't stand the inauthenticity of it all. And so it wasn't something that was a part of my overall marketing strategy. And at the time I thought, well, I really don't need it. I'm doing good. And I was doing good and I'm still doing good, but I'm telling you, I'm doing better because I've integrated at least some marketing into my overall strategy. So I
Okay.
want you to really talk about how you really help people who are just like me, who felt like me, who somewhat still feel the way that I do.
Mhm.
Why do they need to take video marketing more seriously in 2021?
Well, the main reason is engagement. You can get engagement from putting up a post, but especially with YouTube, once people see a video, they actually hear you speak because with all of this digital media, we kind of lose something in terms of communicating with one another through text and written things. It's not the same as actually speaking to someone. Even doing it like this through these Zoom calls is still it's a lot better, but it still is not ideal. But when you're
Right,
a small business owner, you want to come across as credible and authentic, and your passion needs to show. And most of the time, video is the only way to really get that message out the way you want. And it's just a matter of taking your time and just getting over that hump. I mean, it's really not hard. Like I've been filming people for years, and I mean people who never aren't comfortable with camera, being in front of the camera, and I've helped them. And it's just easy. It's just, I get them comfortable. Talk about what you like. Talk about what part of your aspects of your business mean the most to you. And once
right.
you focus on those things, that's where your passion is. That's where your motivation comes from. And then after that, it just comes out, and you may stumble and fumble over your words, but even in video, you can edit, so if you have a good take, okay, I'm going to keep this and I'm going to put something else with that, and it's just a matter of, and not being so hard on yourself because finished is better than perfect. It really is, especially when it comes to marketing. If that's not your core business, if your core business is
Yes,
not video production, you need to quickly do whatever you need to get that video out there and go back to whatever your core business is. So most of the people
yes,
that I teach most of the people that I teach at school are just that. They have another business, but they know they need video marketing. They don't have any money, and they're trying to figure out the best way to create content so that way they can actually create, especially content that looks relevant and looks
yes,
professional. It doesn't look like something just thrown together.
yes. Okay, so let's talk about some barriers. Hello, good afternoon, Deidre, Patrick, Keith. Thank you for being here. Everybody else who might be watching somewhere else, thank you. Make sure that if you have questions about video marketing, go ahead and put them in the chat, and I'll see them pop up and I'll put them up. So let's talk about some barriers because, yeah, I think one of the things that happens, especially for small business owners, for new business owners, they think they have to go out and get all this stuff, right? They think they have to go out and get all this stuff. They think they need a ton of money. And if you are feeling very much like I was in the beginning, and still sometimes right now, if I'm being honest about it, they're just insecure about being on camera. And so one of the things that has really helped me, which you said was quite naturally, just talk about what you're passionate about and just be yourself. I think
Right.
that's one of the reasons why You Choose Sundays works for me is because this is just like a conversation. Sometimes I'm telling you, I forget about people's comments and stuff because it feels very natural and I don't have to
Right.
feel rehearsed. I'm not putting out, even when I'm like compiling video, I'm not like writing a script and saying it word for word. And I think all of those things are kind of some barriers. So, one of the things I think people should know about are some free tools that they can start using. And you told us about Quick, and Quick is
Right.
KWIK.
QUIK.
QUIK. Okay, I feel like I
Right.
saw this app somewhere. So that's a really good one. Another really good one that I like is called Lumen 5. Shout out to Jackie Zimmerman because Jackie Zimmerman told me about that when I first started my business, and just being able to put together some videos, some video content. If you think about, I don't know, like Now This and some of these other ones that are just like video and compiled with words over them, I was able to really put my message out there and get like some great clients just from the kind of video that I was putting out, even if that video didn't feature me. So, what are some other tools that you think people might want to use when they're talking about putting together some video marketing?
Well, for free, quick, I'm gonna have to look into that Lumen 5 because I wasn't aware of that one. But like for free apps, that's pretty much it. For in terms of like one of the things I always ask my students is are if they have access to an iPad. Because if they have access to an iPad, there's an incredible video editing app because at some point you're going to need to assemble these videos. And Quick does it for you. I'm not sure about the Lumen 5, but on your iPad, there's an app called LumaFusion, and LumaFusion is like 20 bucks, $25, but it is a full video editing program. Like you have all the controls that you will need to assemble the pieces that you filmed either of yourself or things that you've taken, and you're able to have your voiceover, color correct, change the amplification of the sound, everything. It's professional. It's like 25 bucks. And so it works on iPhone as well, but with an iPhone you just got such a smaller screen to work on. So but I
Right.
would suggest to everyone, I mean, you don't even have to have a new iPad. You can even get an older one. But as long as you can install LumaFusion, and I would suggest, like I said, that's 25 bucks. That's about the most expensive one. And if you have, but something like that, you're going to need to assemble video, and it allows you to export directly to either your camera roll or YouTube or wherever you like to share the video. So that way you can do everything in the app itself. And I highly recommend that app.
One of the things that I like that you said is you said finished is better than perfect. I believe that's the way
Definitely.
you said it. I don't want to
Yep.
misquote you, but
Yep.
I will
Definitely.
tell you that I think another barrier is that's what we want. We want this perfection, right? And if we can't get it just right, we're not even going to put it out. But
Right.
somebody else is putting out some content that's not perfect and they are reaching the market that you want to reach. And so I
Exactly.
had to hear that.
Exactly.
I have been plagued with this devil laggy stream since I
Right.
started doing my you chooses. I really think that it's because I live in a house that was built in 1890. We have plaster walls. I stream from upstairs. My router's downstairs. I think I have all of these issues going on, right, that I'm working on. Um, that I could say are working against me. I'll never do a live stream. But I'm telling you that I believe that finished is better than perfection. And because I started doing some of these You Choose lives, people get to see my personality and they want to work with me because of that. So
Right.
perfection will kill your spirit. Don't do
Yes,
it.
it will. And you can, and
Just
you'll never
do
reach
it.
it. And I
And you
learned that
won't
like
even.
years ago, some friends of mine, we shot a movie back in like '04. So we shot a movie, edited everything, and it was through the editing process that things were getting, it was just taking too long. And I'm like, we've got to get this finished. And see, that's where the creative in me and the business person in me come together because I am a creative person, but at the same time, I know it's got to get done, and it's
Yeah.
that type of thing. And people that are 100% creative, the gentleman I was working with, that's how he is. And he didn't see it the same way I saw it because the thing is this, like, it has to be done. Like when we started shooting the videos for AT&T, AT&T. I told you that happened in '07. What happened was they sent us the clients, the local clients for different businesses, doctor offices, all kinds of things. But they gave us a strict we had strict guidelines we had to follow. So the shoot couldn't take longer than an hour and a half to do the shoot, and within 48 hours, we had to have the first edit of the video. So those were the stipulations. So I had never shot video that quickly and edited that quickly before. So it was basically a learning curve for me. But what it helped me do was now I can quickly walk into a business. I can kind of assess where I need to do my angles. I can pretty much put that stuff together quickly. And then as I'm shooting, putting it together in my head, I can pretty much guesstimate, okay, this is going to be about an hour. I mean, not an hour, about a minute and a half. This might be about right around a minute. And it's but excuse me, but because I had those restrictions, it helped me to be a better filmmaker and a better producer. Because when you have stuff just out there, well, I need to get, you've got to give yourself deadlines. Even with the video, you have to, like, one of the things I teach my students, I'm like, you can't go over 1 minute on the video. Well, I don't think I can tell my whole story. You've got to be able to tell your story in 1 minute. Actually,
Yeah.
within the first 15 seconds, you need to be able to get the person's attention. Because the videos
Yes.
we produce for you, like everything is based on algorithms and basically some type of algorithmic science now. So even the videos we produce for YouTube, these are like the videos that when you play YouTube videos and you'll see like the ad that comes on before the actual video you're trying to watch. So YouTube gave us guidelines that we have. So within the first 5 seconds, the graphic for the business has to be shown. Within the first 10 seconds, they have to say the business name. So regardless of what goes on after that, because if you notice, most of the time you can click out after 5 seconds. So in five
Right.
seconds, that stuff has to be, but even though, like I said, I know it's based on their algorithm and they know when people are clicking off. At the same time, these are still skills that I teach my students. You need to incorporate these same skills in your video because there's so much video nowadays. And all
Yes.
these different apps, all these different channels, all these different videos are all fighting for your two eyes. So what you
Yes.
have to do is figure out a way to, even if they're going to click off, they still have to know who I was and what I was trying to offer. Got to know
And
that. And that's within the
you
first
have to
10
do
seconds.
that. Yes. I was
Go
I
ahead.
was gonna
I'm sorry,
say
I
you
didn't hear you.
I was gonna say you said the first 10 seconds. But I read
Right.
something recently that says if you cannot garner that attention in the first 3 seconds, that person is gone. And so when you
I can
look at
believe
insights,
that. I can believe that.
yep. So when you look at insights like Facebook and Instagram and all of these others, it's counting those first 3 seconds.
Yep.
So yeah. So tell me this, because I know that there are people watching either on Facebook or LinkedIn, and they're going to be watching now or they're going to be watching later, who are not yet doing anything marketing because they feel very much like I felt. You know what? And
Right.
it's seriously, it's rooted in insecurity. Let's just say that. That's what it
Right.
is.
Right.
Rooted in
Right.
insecurity. What are maybe 2 or 3 things you can tell those people, some tidbits that you can give those people to encourage them to put out their first video in 2021?
I would say the Quick program. Like I said, I'm not sure of the one you spoke of. I'm going to look that one up. But Quick, because Quick allows you to just what you every video starts with a script. So basically what you want to do is think about your business or the particular message in your business that you want to talk about and jot down like 3 things that make it important to you or 3 things that you feel are going to be important to your customer. And at that point, find images that match what you're trying to say. So say I'm just using this example. If you're a dental, if you do say you're a dental practice, but you want to focus just on laser teeth whitening. So then you would just get pictures of some nice white teeth, and then with Quick, you can throw those pictures in there, add in some text that says, we can help make your smile brighter. You'll never look the same again. Things like that. It cuts everything to the beat of the music. You've never had to speak. You let the words do the talking for you, and then boom, and then just make another one using one of your other sayings that you came up with. But the best way,
Yeah.
for the all good videos start with some type of script or some type of narrative. Like there's a video that I'm working on now. One of my clients is they're creating a cancer foundation. Her husband passed away with this rare form of pancreatic cancer. So she's creating a
Mhm.
foundation for research for him. So we're doing that video, putting that together, and basically the song the song is the narration, is the narrative voice for the video itself. And so it's pretty much put together. Everything is matches. There's places that I have to add in some text to give context to the images that we're seeing, but for the most part, that's pretty much it. And whatever, it can be a song, it could be anything, but you have to have that narrative. And once that narrative is there, you just put the images to match with it, add some text if people so people will understand what they're seeing or how it relates to what they've just seen. And that, I mean, that's all video. I mean, even if you break it down, that's all video. And you just break it down to just these different pieces that you need, and you can get around not doing it. Like I said, you don't even have to be in your video or spend a lot of money to do it.
So you don't have to spend a lot of money to do it. That's number one. Number two, you don't have to be in your video. But number three, I just want to tell people too, especially if you're on platforms like LinkedIn, where professionals are really trying to find out who they will be working with. Use your Instagram filters. Use that stories to create use your phone to create a video. This is what I've been doing. That's been working really well for me. Just use your phone. Use the native apps there to create a video with your message, whatever your message is. Hey, everybody, it's Ayana King from Maximum Communications. Come and watch my show, blah, 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 right? 20 seconds or less. If it's more than 30 seconds, it's too doggone long, because you know how people are. They don't want to watch it,
Yep.
They don't want to watch a promo of you. We don't want to watch a promo of you. You don't want to watch a promo of me. So I make it super short, but I run it on my phone. And then in my stories app, I put on all kind of filters, and I don't even really share stories. I don't use Instagram a whole lot, but then I download that video, and now I can use that video in my LinkedIn stories. I can use it in my feed. I can use it on Facebook. So use native apps where you can. You don't have to go out and spend a lot of money. It might not be perfect. It might not be perfect. I just started doing videos last summer, reluctantly. Like, I didn't want to do them. Just insecurity. You know what? Even with this laggy ass stream, I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad that I did. I'm glad that I did. So just start. If I can give you any piece of advice, just start. Just start.
Right. I agree.
So I want to switch gears for a second and talk about something almost completely the opposite. The opposite. Clubhouse.
I've heard of it, not familiar with it.
Okay, so let's talk about it just a second. And if anybody is watching right now and they're on Clubhouse, go ahead and comment and let me know that you're on Clubhouse. So here is my take on Clubhouse. Again, total transparency. Everybody knows how I am about social media. I have this love-hate relationship, right? But Clubhouse is pretty much like, you can think of it like the audio LinkedIn. So it's like audio social media. So there are a lot of like thought leaders. Where's my camera? Right here. Thought leaders that are on there, and they're sharing information, and they're starting these discussions, which I think can be very helpful from everything I understand. But let me tell you what, for me, the turnoff is. I've listened to a few different podcasts about it now. I've had several people that I've either worked with or who I was really talking about working with, who have brought up Clubhouse to me. You should be on Clubhouse. And I have to tell you why I think I might not ever do it. Because I just listened to two different podcasts. One of them said how highly addictive it is, how highly addictive Clubhouse is, and that new users are spending anywhere between 3 to 4 hours a day on it as they're starting to get established. And serious users, those are people who are on there because they have businesses and they're trying to connect and they want to be on podcasts and they're doing all these things. They are on there 10 to 12 hours a day.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I have to tell you, and I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, and I'm open to anybody telling me that I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, because I like to learn, okay? But I have to say that I think anybody who is on Clubhouse 10 to 12 hours a day, I think there are two kind of people. I think they are people who are just starting out, who can afford to just spend 10 to 12 hours on this app, not paid, trying to establish themselves as a thought leader. Or, so that's type of person number one. Type of person number one, maybe you are new and you have the time to be on this app as you're trying to grow your audience. Type of person number two, in my mind, is somebody who is well established, who is already making their money with their business, and they've got somebody else doing all this background stuff, so they have 10 to 12 hours to be on Clubhouse. Ayana King, she ain't got that kind of time. I don't.
I don't either. Right.
And
I don't
I
either.
don't
Right.
want to. I don't want to.
No.
Like
I'm no.
one of my major goals for 2021 is really helping people to use social media in a more healthy way. So social media coaching has always been a part of my business. And I don't run my business like some other social media managers do because I think it's extremely unhealthy. Clubhouse, I don't think I'm trying that.
Hmm. Right.
No.
Yeah, I don't have that type of time either because it's yeah, that's a lot of time. That's
It's a lot of
a huge
time,
time investment, and there's no money. So yeah, that's yeah, 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 yeah.
So there's
Because
that
even
part.
yeah,
There's the lure of, just like all social media,
right,
right? There's the lure of, I might be able to make money on this app if I can get people to see who I am and what I do and why I'm an expert and blah, blah,
right,
blah. But
right.
man, I mean, all I'm going to tell people is, in my mind, the way that I use social media, and I have to say that I use it in a way that I feel is healthy, that does not take
Hmm.
up all my time, and I'm happy with how my business is going. Thank you,
Right,
Lord.
right, right.
I have to say that I, I don't know. I'm just gonna say that that's a lot of time. That's a
It
lot of time.
is.
You don't have to be everywhere. Figure out where your people are and spend your time there. But even then, do it in a way that's healthy because
Right,
that ain't healthy.
right.
That's not healthy.
Yep.
Because that's
I
at minimal, they're saying the average person, minimal, a new beginner is spending 3 to 4 hours on the app every day. That's not the only app they're on. So that's three to four
nope,
hours
nope.
just for that. So
I
so
know.
so what the hell else are you doing with your time? I need to know. I mean,
Nothing, nothing,
sorry.
and that's the thing because like a lot of my students are older, and either they work for a company and they're in charge of the marketing, or the company has they're trying to figure out marketing for themselves if they're a really small business, and
Mhm.
a lot of times it goes back to if your core business is not video marketing and you don't even want to spend a whole bunch of time in these social media apps. You want to create
Yes.
whatever you need to create for your either your post or your marketing and go back to what your core business is. And if I'm spending 10 hours on any app, I'm not doing anything with my core business. I mean, you just can't get around that. And if you need and you have to have video in 2021. I mean, you should have been using video, but and then the thing is this, like there are a lot of people that will hold up their phone and film themselves like that. But the problem with that is because even if you notice on YouTube channels, because the equipment is a lot cheaper and people are spending time, we're more um, media savvy consumers. So we can see when things don't look right because we've seen so many things that do look right. So the reason I was
Yes.
telling you about Quick is because you don't have to film yourself. You can use still images, or you can use images, still images, or video that you shot, but it puts it together in such a way that it doesn't look amateurish. And that's the thing. When you're going after clients, you don't want to want your marketing material to look like you're sitting there with your cell phone camera filming yourself and things like that. You want to try to, especially when these tools exist that can give you better results without spending a lot or any money.
Yeah. So there's a couple more that I thought of. Outside of Quick, outside of Lumen 5, outside of Ripple. These are just a few of them that I can think of off the top of my head that really does allow you to put together still images and even some packaged video content that does not include you. But I will say, in addition to that more professional looking video content, people do want to see your personality. So,
Right,
mix in some personal stuff with some business stuff. I've recently on LinkedIn started sharing like my love of plants. I am a plant mom. I'm sharing more pictures of my plants because people really do want to know who they are working with. And if
right.
I'm buttoned up and just all the time, like, Maybe that Ayana isn't fun Ayana, although I will tell you she's fun too. So, Damon, what you got for us in closing today?
In closing, I was just looking up that Lumen 5, and because that's something I'm going to tell my students about. Because, like I said, I wasn't familiar with that one at all. And in
Yeah.
closing, basically,
Yep.
yeah, the best thing is just starting. Step one, start with the script, your message. Look at your mission statement for your business, and out of that mission statement, create three statements. And out of those three statements, create at least three more because they're behind the passion behind what you do. And then after that, go on the internet and just let your mind flow and think of different images that elicit and that will basically illustrate those statements if you can. And then from there, like I said, using an app like Quick, you can put those images together, add some text either over the images or between the images. Everything is cut to the beat and just start getting in the habit of doing that. They don't have to be long videos. They could be 15 seconds, just something really short, but and then make sure at the end, on the last frame, that you add your contact information, your domain name, your phone number, whatever you need to, so people can contact you. But just start getting in the habit of doing that. Maybe do like I would tell my students to do. They would have to have two of them done for me, and I told them not to take more than 30 minutes to do it. And
Yeah.
that's the truth, because you've
I
got to
like
set
you
those.
whittling it down. Yes. Those
Yeah,
parameters are really
you got because you'll sit there all day, because that goes right back to finished is better than perfect. It's never going to be perfect. And but as you start putting out content, if you know any content creator, the things they put out now, a year ago, are not going to be as good as what they're putting out now, because you just get better as time goes on and you get more familiar. Like I said, just like when we first started doing those commercials for AT&T, and I had never shot a commercial in an hour and a half, let alone have it edited in 48 hours. But now everything I do, I'm boom, boom, boom. It's like that now because I kind of train myself. I've even had to hire people, and they were like, "I don't understand how you got through this so quickly." But I'm like, this is especially when the movie industry was here. We had a lot of people that we hired to shoot things for us that came from the movie industry. They'll take all day to shoot something. I'm like, this is not that. I need you to get in there, get these shots, get out. That's all I need you to do. No extra, no, yeah, yeah.
And
It's
you know
not because
what? And all I heard from that was discipline. Discipline.
that's it.
Discipline.
Right.
You know the
Yep.
steps. You've been given the steps. Now you can busy yourself all day to make yourself feel busy and not get a doggone thing done, or you can put parameters around what you're gonna do and how you're gonna get it done and when,
That's
and then
it.
put it out there.
And
Put it
whatever it
out
looks like, just put it out there and just make the changes that you need to change next time. Put that video out there, and then because you need to see how you've grown also. Because like the
there. And
very first, I still have the very first video that we shot for AT&T. Is Prelanta Jewelry Store in Troy. That video is horrible. It's horrible. But they loved, looking back on it, we're talking about, that was '08 that we filmed that. So we're talking about what, 10, 11, '08 to, was it 12 years, something like that. But the thing is this, you have to see the progression and more, and also look for people who create content that you like, and try to see
yes,
how, because once you start creating content, you'll also understand how to deconstruct it. So when you see how they put something together, then it's like, oh, they just did this and this, and you do
yeah.
the same thing, because it's okay to copy.
So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, right?
Exactly, exactly.
And the other thing too, like you don't have to reinvent the wheel, and just do it. Just
Yep,
do it. I kept making
definitely.
excuses and excuses and excuses. And honestly, it won't be perfect, but you know what the beauty of it is? Like I have people, clients even, who followed my journey. They followed
Right,
my journey.
right.
So it's good. So you guys be kind to yourselves, get out there, make a commitment to do, start out with one video every couple weeks if that's what it takes. Just put yourself out
No,
there.
one video a week. No, it should be
Mm,
one video a week. Yeah,
mm.
no, not every couple weeks, because
Okay,
you've got to start somewhere. So one video a week. Don't spend more than 30 minutes on it. Seriously.
okay. You
And
told me all.
using an app like Quick, you can do that. Like I said, writing out your script does not count in the 30 minutes. But once you
Yeah.
have your thoughts on paper, just go, and then within 30 minutes, whatever you end up with in 30 minutes, that's your first one.
Okay, you talking to me. You told me off and I
Yep.
need it. I'm gonna start doing my one
Yep.
video out of week too.
Yep.
That's
One
not
a
usually
week.
Sundays. All right.
Yep. There
All
you
right.
go.
And I
One a
have the
week.
tools. I'm working my way up to it. Damon, I
Yeah,
appreciate
okay.
you so much for being here today.
No, I appreciate you letting me speak. Hmm.
Why don't you
Thank
tell
you.
everybody where they can find you? Because this is the other thing we didn't really get a chance to talk about. You are also a little bit we did. You're a food photographer also, and you've got a really great food photography feed. I see your stories sometimes on Facebook.
Right.
So tell
Well,
everybody.
can I talk about that real quick? Well, this is what happened with the food photography. So just through the course of shooting videos, we've shot videos for restaurants, and they're like, "Do you guys take pictures of food too?" And this was like years ago, and I was like, "Yeah." I had never done it
Why
before, and then I just went right, and then I just went online, found out what you need to do. It's basically food photography has to do with light and angles. That's pretty much it. Everything is pretty much shot at a 45-degree angle. Make sure the light, you want to use as much natural light as possible if you can, and have the light either behind you or so it's not casting shadows over the food. That's pretty much it. The rest is presentation on whoever is preparing the dish, and that's it. And that's kind of how we got started. So what happened was we were doing the food photography. I mean, we had shot some things for restaurants. Then I think I want to say November 17, Uber Eats wasn't here yet, but they were coming here. And so they were like, we're looking for photographers, food photographers in the area. You have to show us what you've been doing. So I've had foodie videos in my Instagram channel for the longest. So I just sent them that. And next thing I know, I've been shooting for Uber Eats and Grubhub ever since. So and it's super easy to do. And I
wait,
just
wait,
mix it
wait,
in with the
wait,
video production. Yeah. Yeah.
I
And the
love
food
all
photography is really easy. It's really easy. And I love it. And a lot of times I get free food. So yeah, that's good too.
hello, hello. I love all the
That's
winning.
good too.
I love all the
Right.
winning. I love the free
Right.
food. And you know what else I love? Because again, all I heard was put yourself out there. You could have said
Yep.
to yourself, I've never done this before. They'll never pick me, but you did it anyway. You did it anyway.
Yep.
Now you got two big contracts. Count your money, eat your food, live
Yep.
your life. God bless you.
Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly. Okay. Thank
I
you.
love it.
Thank you.
So Damon, tell everybody where they can find you. And you know what? Before you do that, I am just so glad that we are connected. I love
Yes.
doing
Yes.
these Sundays. This is purely selfish. I mean, I know it helps other people, but I just love
Uh-huh.
having real conversations with people who I really admire and who I look at the
Okay.
work they're doing. So thank you so much. Tell everybody where they can find you, please.
Yes, imultimediaservices.com. That's our domain name. The letter I, multimediaservices.com. You can look us up on Google as well. And that's basically our website tells what we do, shows some of our past clients, some of our different testimonials and things like that. But yeah, that's it. And I love video. And even with teaching, I've been teaching now at Washington Community College since September of 16, and it's yeah, I love it. I love it. That's why doing this and talking about this is the same thing I do for my class. And because of COVID, everything my teaching has all gone online now too.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
I can tell that you love it. It's evident that you love it. You've been in business over 20 years, and you don't stay in business over 20 years, a successful business in over 20 years by being mediocre. So thank you so much for your time and talent. I hope that people will reach out to you. Good luck in everything you're doing in 2021. And as soon as we can, we're going to get together and have some more lunch.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you for
I miss
having me and
that.
being on the show.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next Sunday.
All right. Bye everyone.